right, we'll call this meeting of Brown County Commission to order. Commissioner Feldheim, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda, we've got a joint with our friends from the city. It's, well, on the county side, it's ordinance 472, the Sanderson rezone, first reading. Does everybody have that? Any comments on it?
Petitioner is requesting this petition to rezone in order to eliminate the split zoning on proposed lot 1 that occurred as a result of replatting this property, and to zone lots 2 and 3 properly for their lot size and use. Staff has reviewed this petition to rezone and concur with its approval.
Any questions from the commissioners? I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Sutton, seconded by Feldheim. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And we'll over to you guys.
Okay, for the city, roll call. Carl, please.
Councilmember Bunsmith, Johnson. Here. Second.
All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
We are done.
So your
Thank you,
meeting-
everyone. Happy New Year.
Your guys' meeting Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday, yep.
We'll see you on Tuesday.
Tuesday morning here.
No, we're at your house this week.
Next week. All right.
Should be at Jefferson.
We got some road there to do. Morning, Chris.
Carl, if you can convince him to come here all year, that would be great.
It's a short one.
Great. All right, our next item is at 8:50, so I am going to let Maxine do a couple things on her list here.
Okay. The minutes from the meeting December 19th.
Everybody get those minutes, have a chance to read them over?
Moving.
Moved by Fishback,
Second.
seconded by Sutton. Any corrections, additions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Moved.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
seconded by Sutton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
The HR report.
Moved.
Moved by
Second.
Sutton, seconded by Fishback. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Plats to the Speller, Erickson, Ball, Shipkey, Sanderson.
Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
seconded by Fishback. Questions on the plats? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance 113, it's a rezone, and that's the
Hey, Mark.
hearing today. I didn't write down the name of it.
That's made by Ryan Dell on behalf of Deborah
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yep.
Everybody see that one?
Yep.
Is there a motion to set the hearing?
Moved.
Moved by Sutton,
Second.
seconded by Feldheim. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Do you want me to...
Why don't Fishback,
Second.
seconded by Sutton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Go back.
And that will be a roll call vote. If that's
Sounds great.
okay. Okay, I handed out the sheets for the, let's do the auto supplements first to the 2017 budget. If we receive money that's not anticipated, it does, budget supplement does not have to be advertised, it's just an auto supplement, because it's just, expenditures were approved, and then whatever agency sends the money to cover it. The Stop Violence Against Women Act, that grant is the first one, and it's $41,456.13. The weed got a special mosquito grant for $12,595, and we received the final CDGB payment for the Safe Harbor project. We received one right away, January of 17, and then we just received the last one in December. Total there is $91,629.21. And also, the Homeland Security funds, that's an auto supplement, and the total on that is $104,269.90.
Okay, is there any questions on those four that we're doing?
I'll move approval.
Moved by Sutton,
Second.
seconded by Feldheim. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, contingency, let's do the interest proration transfers first. So that we don't have to divide the interest between all the special revenue funds as the interest comes in. We do it at the end of the year. And so the interest throughout the year is deposited into the general fund. This motion would shift it from the general fund to the corresponding fund that earned the money. And it's highway, emergency management, 911 dispatch, and then the beef plant had some escrow dollars that earned interest the first half of the year. We'll put this money in those funds, but you have the option in January's minutes, you opted to transfer that money as an operating transfer back to the general. Legally, you can do that for highway, emergency management, and the beef plant. You can't do it for 911 because that's state mandated and it's also joint with the city. So the motion is to put the money from the general to the funds, and then whatever your wishes are, if you want to operate it back into the general for highway, emergency management, and beef plant.
Anybody have a preference? Should we just roll them into the same funds, or you want to see them go to general, those three?
I would like to see the highway funds stay in the highways for use on the roads,
Okay?
personally.
And by Fishback, any further discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay. Mental health program, $10,110.30. Fair, $51,234.36. The weed, $2,083.92, and the 24/7 sobriety program, $284.58. The grand total is $178,210.20.
Okay, any questions on those contingency, what we're putting in there?
So that amount is all we've used of our contingency for
Yes.
17, right?
For 17. We did the budget supplement that we'll get to later in the agenda, and the budget I wasn't sure how much contingency we need, so the budget supplements could have been used contingency could have been used, but without advertising it, if we fell short, we wouldn't be able to fund them.
Okay, any other questions? Entertain a motion on those funds. Moved by Feldheim,
Second.
seconded by Sutton. Any other questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Centennial Village Annual Report, I did not receive anything.
I haven't seen anything
Okay.
yet. Either.
We need to amend
That
the...
brings us to
Okay.
8:55. Sheila Anderson, Treasurer, has some year-end tax matters. How are you guys today?
Good.
Good.
Morning, Patty. Morning, Sheila.
Hi.
Morning.
Tried to be here yesterday according to the paper, but didn't work, did it, back?
No. And I was up here...
Not me, I didn't try.
I was up here Sunday and I tried to contact every person I knew at the news and no luck.
Keith said, "You gotta be in." I said, "Oh, I don't care."
I was here.
Yeah. You were the greeter at the door, right?
Just in case, yeah.
Telling them go back home? We have a dozen parcels here that need to go to tax deed. Didn't know if there's a reason that we shouldn't take any of them. We have to that,
The first one, is that in an estate or anything?
No, unfortunately not, and the child that's living in it is, has some handicap issues, but, you know, the property hasn't been probated. I talked to the siblings, I said, you guys gotta do something, because I can't do anything unless you, but nobody seems to do anything, so I guess we're just gonna have to send a letter from the state's attorney's office and see if that prompts them to do something. Why? I thought that there was some interest in it at one time from somebody, but nobody ever did anything. I can't remember what the address is on that one.
Go South Klein.
South Klein. Oh, maybe that's not the one I was thinking of.
think so.
that'd be what, across from Central Park?
Could be.
Those are...
Yeah.
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 To the
could be.
east,
To the
probably?
east, yeah.
So maybe it is that one. I can't remember. I had a couple calls about it, but nobody ever followed through.
Just north of Sacred Heart there in
Yeah,
that
would that
lot.
sound right?
lot of money against it.
Yeah,
what?
well, and 10,000 of that is the city assessment for it.
Tearing down the house.
So we need to have the state's attorney be sure to serve the city in those cases when there's assessments.
When was the house torn down, any idea?
I think it says on there the year that the 10,000 is on there.
2014.
Yeah,
So
the
you're
same
taking-
names keep reappearing, don't they?
You're taking the first 12 as a group. Any questions on those 12?
So it's just been 2 years then?
They paid some, but no, you know, it's the first one, the original one is the 5 years old, and then
I don't know what they do, they're at all the ball games, whatever what they do.
maybe I could serve them there. right?
Yeah.
They never miss one.
So out of the 18,426, 10,550 has to go to the city then when that gets sold or
Yeah.
whatever happens to it?
Yeah. If we get that much.
So we need a motion on these?
Yeah, the first 12 together to go to tax deed.
I move it.
Motion for Fishback,
Second.
second from Sutton. Any other questions or discussion on those first 12 pages? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And on that last one, we'd like to have them enter into a contract for $375 a month. She has paid some of it. As you can see, the 13 and the 16 are paid already.
Okay. I move that.
Moved by Fishback,
Second.
seconded by Feldheim for $375 per month contract. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Do that one for me, I need to look at it. Sometimes I like to go back.
Check it out. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, sure. We did have 100 more tax certificates this year than we had last year, so that's kind of a reflection of a little bit of a problem. Hopefully they'll,
Egg?
not, I guess I don't know, not necessarily, but 100 more certificates we wrote this year than we did.
More that and more of the BOLSs too. A lot of those didn't get
Yeah,
paid.
because those old ones were given a year break and then rolled in. Now all of a sudden, because there's been 2 years without any activity, there's more of them there too, so. Anyway,
Well, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to your list next.
With the annual salary schedule, we missed Larry. Sorry. Well,
What?
Yeah, I know.
Thought he was done.
So we need to add Larry, and Aaron and I, we both looked at Tom Schmidt's, but dyslexic view or something, we had the amount transposed on the dollars and cents, just the last 5 digits. So that needs to be corrected.
Okay, is there a motion to do that?
So moved.
Moved by Sutton,
Second.
second by Feldheim. Any questions on what we're doing? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
There you go, Larry.
You get paid this week. There was, R&B Farms renewed their lease for the landfill property. There was a lease addendum in the packet for that. I think this is the first,
Second year, we just
second year,
had,
yeah,
had a new
Of the
bidding.
5,
yeah.
I'll move it.
Moved by Sutton, seconded by Fishback. Any questions on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And that's all I have.
Okay. Now we're pretty close. We can go to our 9:05, the budget supplement hearing.
Okay. Budget supplement was published twice. Federal state grant 234, this is for the pod, to be funded by undesignated surplus cash in the federal state grant fund to cover that. Sobriety program 248 is for $4,800 to be funded by undesignated surplus cash in that fund. The Register of Deeds Modernization and Preservation Fund, $12,712.91 to be funded by undesignated surplus cash in the Register of Deeds Modernization and Preservation Fund. Public is invited to attend the hearing and to present comments and testimony regarding the supplements.
Okay. Is there anybody here to speak to this budget supplement we're looking at?
For clarification, the actual amounts will be the 246 and the 375,
Correct.
right?
Yep, the 246,026.34 for the court appointed and 375,723.44 for the jail.
Right.
Any other questions?
I'll move approval.
Motion from Sutton,
Second.
seconded from Fishback. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. And Tom, come. There they are. You can come on in, Tom. We're running early.
Sheriff is about 2 minutes behind me.
No worries.
Morning, Tom.
We're at ease right now.
I can tell some jokes.
We know who the real boss is anyway.
Well, I didn't want to say that. Good Christmas, everybody, I hope.
Very good. How about
You
you?
too?
Good, thank you.
There's a terrible accident on the interstate. Was that last night? Was the guy running the back of the bus? The bus lost all its power, so he didn't have any lights or nothing.
Oh, no.
Guy running.
No, you're good.
Sounds like the bus didn't pull off the side or anything, he just sat in the middle of the
Sat right in the middle of the road.
road. Sounds like it just died and we couldn't get it off the road, it just
The
went
guy
dead.
I suppose the guy just didn't even see it till...
Wow. Just like you get the moonlit nights and black cows get out on the road.
Mhm.
That's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Gas is jelly up again these days. It happened to my brother. To see the jails, they kind of empty.
Has been.
Let everybody out for Christmas, did you? or-
Well, not letting them out, but, you know, and especially when
Correct.
this is, you know, you can dress for it, but
Yeah, I know.
to go in and out of vehicles or buildings and stuff, it's just,
I don't
you know,
know.
it really sucks.
Yep.
Gary might have something else.
But thank you guys yesterday too for the bonus days. I mean, we know that you don't have to do that, but that's really well received by everybody.
They were kind of nice.
That was last year.
Yeah.
She didn't submit one last
Yeah, it's just for 3, but I mean, I really appreciate the one.
That's what he wanted to propose, well, that's why I like and the staff recommended here. I wanted to close for the whole week, or stay with me.
That's why I voted for you last time.
While we're waiting for Mark, did everybody get the email about the clothing allowance for Department of Equalization? Because we currently have the policy that,
I saw it. They were under the assumption that Mary had submitted a policy before leaving, and that wasn't the case. And so they went ahead and purchased some clothing, and as you all seen on the So,
Sometimes you gotta have that discussion.
At least a couple times a year.
Evidently.
so he did submit a new policy, Michael did, and for you to view, and the staff recommends the optional version versus the mandatory version. But it's up to you.
I don't think they need to go every day, they know when they're out in
No,
the field. My big thing
yeah.
was that we put the flags on the vehicle, so when they're out at places, people know why they're looking around buildings.
Oh, they're gonna be.
But I don't think they have to every day have the... But they've purchased clothing in the past.
Yes, they have.
So did they fall into this, or did we change that since their last purchase?
Well, they didn't have anything this year or last year. It's not like it's been, they got coats like she did last 2 years ago. But
Don't you have that
You're
cell phone
fine.
yet?
Yeah, it's right there. Thank you, Kenny.
On the grant, what is it?
$5. No,
So I don't know if we want to take that up today, or
If you want to wait.
I'll just pass it around and we'll go to what we're
Are
on.
you done?
All right, let's
How's your
go to our 9:10 Sheriff Mark Milbrandt and Tom Schmidt to discuss security. Where are we at, guys? They look at each other.
Well, when we have the meeting, pretty much a new ballgame for us. We're trying to figure out what we need for staffing. So we figured out possibly starting with 2 certified officers and a non-certified. And you guys looked at the second floor, right? So there you have people coming up there where we have the x-ray machine and the magnetometer. But then again, you have where people can come up the elevator. So we probably have a deputy with a wand too. So we have to monitor both stations, I would guess. And then if something in court would happen, you know, one of the deputies could respond there real quick or go up and take care of the problem needs. So actually, like I said, we figured out that it would be a mid-range salary amount for certified for 2, and then a non-certified for just 1 person. And that's not including, we'll probably need some part-time people because there'll be sick leave, vacation, you know, have to take, they'll have to take, there, you can pass them around there if you want to look at them. You know, for vacation, sick leave, and then, of course, they have lunch breaks and stuff where Kyle and I discussed it once in a while, definitely have to maybe work and go up there for a little bit, you know. That's kind of a mid-range. We just put all the deputies' salaries in one. I had Jesse do it, and then he divided it up and shown what mid-range would be. So if we have somebody more, it would be a little bit more, or somebody with a little less experience would be less.
Now, obviously, if they're going to be new hires, it would be on the lower end of this, simply because they'd be at the lowest end of our wage scale.
What does that equate to, that 36,000 for wage? What is that an hour?
Well, it's an average with also, if you divide it by 2,080. It's what the highest deputy is, because they're, you know,
About $17 an hour.
we have a 10-step program, but then some of the deputies have been here, what,
27 years.
some odd years.
1773.
Thank you.
So we didn't know what
When
you
you
guys
mean-
want to pay, but we just wanted to throw out what it was.
Non-certified, that would be,
Correctional
like
officer salary.
correctional.
Yeah, I don't know what else to go by, I just throw it out and you guys can look at it and...
You know, we're kind of considering too, as far as the non-sworn. Certainly, the 2 certified deputies up there would be able to either respond certified in a non-sworn, just at the security, so.
The thing about that I found with, you know, a couple of places I've had it, where we look through it is, you know, it's pretty scheduled for everything. You know, when court is and that, and it's just the courthouse too, which that's why we're going to second court to eliminate having so many people, and then you'd have to look at what you want to do with, you know, we understand the employees, but like attorneys, I don't know what the judges feel about that, but that's something we probably need to look at too. If they're, I don't know if the other place, I think they got a card or something where they can, I think we talked about that too, if they get through or whatever, so. That's a new ball game for us, so we're looking at suggestions too.
From
from a security standpoint, I would think that anyone accessing the courtrooms or third floor
Yep.
should have no problem going through the security. That's my thought.
That's
That way
That's why I agree with that. I just want to throw it out to make sure we cover all bases.
And you know, for them to walk through would be one thing, but a lot of them would have their big bags, and they may have an issue with you looking through their stuff, you know, because that's all their attorney-client stuff.
But if you put it on the conveyor,
Yep,
all you're
so
doing
it
is
should-
scanning and
it should cover it.
not.
Not like you're reading it.
Yeah. And then there's probably gonna be some extra for training, you know, we got a couple deputies that know about the main tower, but not so much the x-ray machine. That's something that we could probably go to a different county and get that done, probably pretty reasonable. I mean, they wouldn't charge us in, sure.
And I think we could even maybe defray that with Russ.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We have one of our correctional officers who's certified in this x-ray machine, and that's what he does on a part-time job at the federal building, not where the court is, but the federal building. And I think so we'd be able to use him as a trainer to defray some of that cost.
You know, if you're gonna do everything on the second floor, we'll have to add that elevator to the control system. I'd have to look, see what that cost is gonna be. Because if security's on the second floor, we're gonna have to stop that elevator on the second floor. And when we get to third floor with the deputies pass.
Yep.
You know, you may want to defer the attorney question to the court. Because by statute, attorneys, as officers of the court, can carry a firearm in the courthouse. Now, the judges don't want them carrying in their courtroom, but that's by their own judicial order, not by statute. And so, technically, they could be wandering around here with a gun, and that's lawful. So you may want to pass the buck on that to the court system, let them decide if attorneys can waive through, or if they need to be searched like everybody else. And
Okay, any other questions?
You let the judges decide that, you mean?
yeah.
I think there's a bright spot, you know, when we did the exam up on second floor, there'd be very little remodeling. Probably some power outlets having to be brought in and stuff, but we didn't see much that we would have to really do.
Because any control of the flow of people, you could just use like they have in an airport, or
Right.
with the, what do they call those ribbon things, like,
Ribbon things.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty technical.
Yeah.
Seemed to be the least restrictive when we looked at it after we met. You know, that way the whole first floor is just left
Yeah,
status quo, and you're not
I
restricting
agree.
access to any of it.
This is our best option so far, anyway. That's
Well,
why it
and
comes
and
up
we've
with
looked,
something different.
yeah, exactly, we've looked, we wouldn't even have to interfere with the folks coming up to make payments, pay fines. As long as they're not going up past or into a courtroom, we wouldn't even have to deal with them, you know, so that would cut the amount of our work down as much as we could.
And would it be two flows, so that if you're going to clerk a court's window, you don't even go through?
That's correct. You know, when you'd come up the stairs or in an elevator, we'd have to pencil it out to see how we want to really restrict as far as going into the court and stuff, but if you're coming up the stairs to pay a ticket, you won't even go through a security. You'll just go off.
Okay, we'll leave it.
That's something we gotta, I mean, you know, like I said,
Work it out.
we're gonna have to look through it, and we'll learn by, if we make mistakes, we'll learn by it, but try to do the best that we can with it.
But because we all know personnel is such a big thing, and we're kind of under a time frame, you know, we need some guidance from you guys. What do you want us to try and do? If we have to put on new hires, you know, we certainly, with the staff we have, we can certainly help out. We certainly can't carry that load.
Are we short deputies already?
But here's the thing that we
You've
got
hired
going.
them.
On paper, we're full. Yeah.
Okay,
And we've got one deputy leaving in February for 4 months military training. We can't get out of that. We've got one new deputy who's in training probably right up until she goes to Pier in March. So there's the second one.
That's 13 weeks.
13 weeks, yep. So again, we're going to be down a little short, but we've lived with short. But it's just one of those things where when they come back by the end of June or so, you know, we'd be full staff. But even the paper server, you know, that we've taken him off of doing that exclusively, putting him back in uniform to help bolster our hours so that we have fewer hours that are only one deputy at a time. You know, so really we have nobody that's in plain clothes that's doing just one simple thing other than our investigator. And then eventually we're going to have to take one of our online deputies and put him into investigations to replace one that left. You know, so it's interesting doing the schedules right now.
So we still haven't done that, we're one investigator.
Correct. We just got letters of interest, it closed Friday, so then we'll do appointments with interviews and see which one's going to be taken off of the street and put into investigations.
So that particular position, you're for sure taking somebody that's already a deputy
Correct.
and promoting them.
Yep, and that was an in-house deal. We didn't open that up to the public.
Okay. Well, these are good numbers. Any other questions?
Not right now.
Okay. Thank you.
On your process serving, is that a revenue generator for the Sheriff's Department? Is that, I guess my question was, is it feasible to look at farming that out, or is that something that you definitely want to keep within your organization for?
I want to keep, because under statute, I'm really obligated, and the state's attorney can answer that the sheriff has to execute all writs, warrants, and other process from any court or magistrate for which the sheriff has the legal authority. So, just to give you an idea, this is kind of, that's what we, it's really about $156,000 we bring in a year, which about 23,000 is through executions. The rest is through civil process where we serve papers. You can see on the bottom of the years prior, in July of 2016, July 1st, the sheriffs went into legislators and got our fees raised because we were so far behind anybody else that they doubled our summons complaint fees, and then they tripled like some of the execution fees, which was way overdue for us. And so it does generate revenue, and that's what we have so far today, but I opened mail, I got about another 2,500 received yet for civil process.
Do you have just one particular deputy doing this, or is there?
We have a main deputy, but then we use night guys because some people aren't around during the day, and we have to serve. Best time we serve is usually like supper hour at 9 o'clock at night.
Did you say you use night guys?
We use day guys, we use night guys, we use them all. You know, we got one that kind of oversees it, so we make sure, especially with the legal papers that we get from the state's attorney, because there are court dates on them, all subpoenas, so we get those done. Make sure it's the prior amount of days before the court hearings are.
Some people you never find.
Not very often, but we do. Yeah, it's amazing how they try to evade process, I'll tell you. It used to be fun when I was a young deputy. I'd go to look in the window all the time and knock on the door and see what people would roll off their couch. People would be hiding there behind I could see it with a mirror, and it's unfortunate, but that's
We got those right around, don't we?
yeah.
I think Doug was referring to whether that it would be a cost savings for your folks to spend more time in other areas and have some other service do this part for you.
I think we gotta do most of it anyway by statute. And no, we draw enough revenue on it where it's way over the deputy's salary, the time they use for doing that.
Would that be legal to go up to the door disguised as a pizza delivery guy? They'd be more apt to open the door.
I did it once as a postal inspector.
So it must be legal. All right, any other questions on those numbers? Know what we gotta find.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, thank you.
Judy, they take cash or checks?
I know.
Credit card, too.
Next on the agenda, we've got IT Director Paul Stevenson, IT and Security Updates. Good morning, Paul.
Morning.
Morning, Paul.
We'll start with security, since we're on security. As we're handing out, as we're going first of the year to our new spot of security. Come across like the court services, people that are don't follow our county policy. We ran into an issue that we need some kind of agreement as we issue security devices for our building. So we came up with this form.
It's fairly, it just basically states the rules of having one of our fobs, getting in and out of the building, what they need to do personally, and so, with your approval, I'll send this up to Susan at Court Services to have them look it over and see what changes they'll want.
And I think we should have the state's attorney review it also, just to...
Done and are going to do. And that's pretty typical for most of, you mentioned the schools and other places that have fobs to have a $25 or some type of a fee if they lose it.
Lose it or break it or...
A little more skin in the game there, so you don't...
And just force them to be a little more, you know, I guess, I don't know if you want to go this far with the employees or just go with the policy manual with the employees. I guess that's entirely up to you also.
Any comments, questions, corrections? State.
Looks reasonable, I think.
Will that community room be in that west entrance, is that going to be kind of a pain for somebody to monitor that if they've got things going on in the community room? And
Not really. I mean, we have it set, or we will have it set, so when maintenance files one of the doors that's unlocked during the public hours, we'll unlock them all. No, except if they fob the west, if they double select the west entrance, it's only going to unlock that entrance for those meetings. Then the doors auto lock at 5:30, and then these, if they're reopened or for a while, those auto lock.
Any other questions? So then we just need to decide non-employees only, and then is the doors opening and the... But for today, we're talking about non-employees signing off on this.
No, not just court services, I mean contractors. We do projects, you know, contractors will get
Temporary.
access, because a lot of the work they do at night, so they're not bothering during the public times and that type of stuff, so.
So I guess at this point, are you want a motion with the stipulation it goes through the attorneys?
Yeah, and I don't know what do we...
I've looked through it as to form, I think.
Looks all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
there's a few little typos and stuff. Correct.
Like I said, I'm sure when we send it up to the court services, they'll look it over and send it back to some corrections.
So do you want a motion today?
Yeah, do you want to send it up to them? Susan last week, they're asking for an outside, we have cameras in all the courtrooms and panic buttons. So if they hit the panic button, it goes to the jail and dispatch and somebody's dispatched. We have them inside Magistrate Court over here. They would like one outside, above the door by the parking lot. Now, I'll have to check with the city, because that's a city building, and see, because they have one there, but it's a city camera, we can't see it. But, so, I mean, I'll have to check with the city on this. I didn't know if you wanted me to go forward with that, just get some costs together.
Well, if there's already a camera there, is it easier to just look?
We don't know, I don't know what the city has. It's an analog camera, we can't.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you just check
But
it?
we already have network over there, so it's just a matter of camera.
That'd be kind of silly to have two cameras
Well,
right on top of each
exactly.
other.
So I'll get with the city and talk to them, and we'll look it over, and then we'll get some best costs together for your, sure. You know, or maybe it's just a fake, I don't know.
Yeah, one of those fake
Well,
ones.
can't answer that.
That's the first thought that comes to my mind while we're one there, once they do it.
I know the two inside work, and those are ours, so. I think that's all that they had for now.
Okay.
And I'll get a cost together on that elevator and security. We have seen, MPS is coming around, and we really, I think, January need to really move that to a new vendor. So I don't think I'll send, last quotes I got HP looked like the best option. That's what Northern went with, and it's a good option, so.
How many vendors are there for that?
Checked with, I think there's 4. Marco's not getting them to us, so it's just time to re-up that and save us a little more money anyway.
Okay.
So I'll try to get that to you the second week of January meeting. We'll look that over and maybe get moving forward on something different. I do have one, if I could request an exec for a legal contract.
We'll go into exec for contractual matter.
Okay. Go back through. You want to change that if I send it through? I will. Okay. I'll change that and I'll shoot it over to you. Visiting with the school last week, Avenue School
Okay, no action as a result of exec. We had Paul Peterson in with us for a contractual matter, and then he left, and we also convened for exec
For
for
personnel.
legal.
Full legal?
And was it all legal? Yeah.
You know, for, you know, having clients coming in and having a window, he wasn't really in for that. He said, but we just need to see who we can let in or how they're gonna let him in. So, when you guys are discussing your stuff, if you can just decide, are we going to put in an intercom like what Gary has and then it pops up on the computer, or, you know, because Kathy's not there in the main office that has a window all the time.
And that window's already in.
That's one of the older windows. So we're talking about the
Main
two
entrance door.
outside. There's 3 main entrances into that area. Kathy's is always wide open, and then Aaron's is closed, and Tammy's is closed.
To the hallway.
To the hallway.
Does anybody use those two? I thought they all came in Kathy's because it's open.
Well, if Kathy's not there,
Oh.
they have to have some way of, and he thought that everybody was going to get intercoms at their doors to pop people in and stuff, and I said, well, that was kind of like, if I didn't know that they were going to have to get up and go to the door to let the people in. So, I just need to know how to proceed on this, what you guys are going to want to do. I mean, you guys can talk about it.
Sure.
So he doesn't really want a window in his door, but we just need to, he needs to know.
Periodically, you know.
Lunch
Aaron's out
breaks
for
and all that
meetings,
kind of stuff, so.
Lunch breaks, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Any thoughts?
And
So-
the windows, you said, were gonna be higher than
the
the
windows are
intercom.
like, I put the 3 in our office, in my office, and GIS, and Paul's office, and that was like $1,100. I really don't know for the price of what the speaker, what the buzzer and intercom that Gary
They were
has.
saying 800.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to get up regardless.
Well, they're gonna have to push a button, if you want him to, they push a button. Gary, does it come up on your screen?
Not yet, but it will.
It will, okay. So he doesn't, I mean, he doesn't have anything, he doesn't have a button. They basically are gonna have to pound on the door to try to get their attention once the doors are shut, because he's not gonna see.
Sure.
So,
Okay, we'll
Okay.
give it some thought. Thank
all
you.
right, thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
Yep. All right, anything else come in while we were in exec? Anything else for us, Gary?
No, that's what you want to talk about.
You guys want to take up dress code, the clothing policy, or take that up next week? Let's take it up next week. Any questions from those in attendance, other commissioners? Entertain a motion to adjourn then.
Move it.
Moved by Fishback, seconded by Sutton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll be adjourned. Thank you.
Some of the dishes, they messed it up.